Game Pass isn't sustainable. Okay. It's not making money. It's the worst. So I'll read. So this is the actual thing that was said by Christopher Dring. If you don't know who Christopher Dring is, look at our thumbnail. His picture is gracing our thumbnail. Says, so costs associated with the Game Pass business is fees paid to third parties, marketing, and service costs. And by that measure, it's profitable. What they don't count is the lost revenue that Xbox's first party studios are seeing as a result of the service. I have to imagine if first party studios receive similar compensation, that profitability might not be correct. So some dude, Richard Brown, says, so Game Pass itself is profitable, but Xbox, including studios, isn't. Not seeing that anywhere, but it wouldn't surprise me. Christopher Dring follows up and says, I asked for clarification on the Game Pass is profitable claim and was told no first party costs are included. Okay, so that was the big oh no, Game Pass ain't shit, because even though Phil Spencer, you all believed him, he's such a liar. He came out and said Game Pass was profitable, and they're not including the first party compensation or whatever the fuck, or the lost sales.
He's such a liar, you guys.
But it's just so stupid because, first of all, even in this context, right? Let's say this was the case. Let's just say this was the case. Microsoft or an Xbox don't make games, and the sole way to make money off those games are through Game Pass. Okay. They sell the games. If Game Pass didn't exist, owning a studio are costs that it would have to have regardless. Right. So the idea that if you have a subscription service that you're supposed to include all the sales or the whole reliance of sales on there is wild. That's so fucking stupid. Why would you do that? If Game Pass didn't exist, what would then be the situation?
And I don't understand the obsession. Like, Game Pass does exist. They have a freaking insane amount of games in there, and they're putting their first party and even third party games, some of them right into Game Pass. So I don't understand this obsession with wondering, like, how much is it making? I need these numbers now. If you hear something like this, just in case it's true, get the fuck home and start playing those games before they shut down Game Pass, right? That would be the mentality. But is this obsession with, like, how much is it making? Is it profitable? Like that, if I'm paying them my monthly freaking subscription, why does that matter to me? Exactly. Why does it matter? I don't understand it. Do you guys get this? Like, it's an obsession with, like, giving, I don't know what they think they're doing. Are they giving, like, the ponies hope? Are they giving PlayStation hope that maybe someday this will get shut down and they will find a way to make a major comeback that's going to be significant in any way or another? They're not making many games, you guys. That's not going to change whether Game Pass is around or not. If anything, you guys should be hoping that, you know, Phil hands PlayStation a bag for a couple of those games and they start making some freaking money for some of their older games. Like, I don't know, The Last of Us. Maybe eventually throw in Helldivers, right? After it's been on the platform for a bit. And see if you can get some people to play the game, buy it, right? So this idea that Microsoft or Xbox is out here, which I have such a difficult time understanding. Who are they? Are they stupid and they're wasting money and Game Pass is not sustainable, but they're still doing it, right? Or like, are they a greedy corporation firing everyone that they should be giving money to, right? Like, which one is it? Pick a mother freaking lane or take your freaking pills in the morning before you get on social media. But this is some clown ass shit to think that you're going to come out here and try to figure out their numbers. So now you want to break down of what? How much they pay each employee, how much they paid for every game, how much came in, how many people play these games, because somehow we need to figure out not just how many people bought it outside of Game Pass, right? We need to know how many people had the freaking bought the early access to the freaking shit. Like, what do you guys want? What are we doing here? I thought this was about gaming. And if they're feeding you a shit ton of games in Game Pass, what is the freaking problem? What's the problem? What's the problem? I find it.
Can't.
Like, are you sitting there and you're wondering, you go to a buffet, right? And you're sitting there and you're like, okay, here's your money. I'm going to go eat. You're sitting there stressing, wondering, how are they going to freaking sustain themselves because they're putting out all this freaking food? Or are you going to stuff your face? What did you go there for? To stuff your face, right? To eat. You're not wondering, why am I only giving them $15, $20 and I can eat everything I want, right? How are they going to open those doors tomorrow? Let me not eat everything so that some other people get a chance to eat. No, motherfucker, you paid and you feel entitled to that shit and you want to enjoy your meal. You don't want to know how it was freaking cooked, how much they paid for the steaks or the chicken or whatever raggedy ass shit you're trying to eat at a freaking buffet, right?
Right.
You want your food, you want your freaking drinks, and you want to enjoy your shit. So what are we doing if we're into Game Pass, not enjoying the games and trying to figure out how is it sustainable? Oh my gosh, how is Phil gonna pay the mother freaking bill? Did that even cross your mind, you guys? Who the fuck is stressing about that shit? It's idiotic in the world we live in today that maybe y'all motherfuckers should be worried about paying your freaking bills. Get the fuck off social media and stop trying to pocket check freaking Xbox, Microsoft, or whoever the fuck y'all think you're gonna gang up on, right? And think that you're gonna take them down. You dumb bitches, all you do is spread their name around like a bunch of fucking clowns. Try to move the fuck out of your mother's basement. Trying to figure out if there's somebody out there who will fucking love you. Get a goddamn therapist, you stupid bitch. Try to fucking stay healthy and alive, right? And get your shit together. Because someone who's obsessed to this type of fucking length, like, you have a fucking problem. So move the fuck on. You love PlayStation, they don't have fucking games. They don't have games. Either admit it to yourself, I fucking love Xbox, I'm gonna pay full price because I want to keep them and make sure that they're afloat, or I'm gonna go and get Game Pass, right? If not, all you have that fucking PlayStation box for, that PlayStation 5 that looks like a freaking vagina, is to rub your goddamn testicles on it. That's all you could possibly want to have that shit there for. It's not for the games. So again, if it's games we're fucking talking about, stop being fucking concerned and worried about how, oh, is it gonna stay around? Fucking go and play your shit. And stop making up crap for attention. For attention. For what? For fucking 5 cents? For pocket change? What are you doing with your fucking life? Figure this shit out.
Well,
Just trying to help. It's
You know,
so fucking weird.
Doodle's
I don't
giving
get
back.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Giving back to the community, putting out words of wisdom out there to help these lost souls, and help them find a little meaning in their life instead of associating themselves so heavily on Xbox's downfall.
They are obsessed. They're obsessed. These ponies are out here on Twitter. You get it. They don't have the games to play. They don't know what's going to happen to PlayStation. They don't know if they're going to wake up and Hiroki has shut the bitch down. Who else got fucking fired? What studio got shut down? So we have a problem, and we're going to be acting like it's the end of the mother freaking world because they pull funding on a game that maybe didn't make any fucking sense to have on their platform. But, oh my gosh, hold up. How many studios has fucking PlayStation shut down? Their own shit. How many games has PlayStation canceled? So if we're not upset about that shit taking place and, I don't know, the toxic positivity, the crap that goes on in there over at PlayStation, that we should be worried. Honestly, we should be concerned about the people that work in there, considering the shit that we've heard about the environment over there. So if we are humanitarians and we give a shit about other people, let's focus, all right? Use that little brain that you've got and try to figure out who the fuck is fucking with people and their money. Because who's that guy that wanted to show off all his cars, right? To people that can't even afford a meal? A meal? So if they can't afford to eat, but they're employed by PlayStation, I think there's a problem. You want to fucking help? Go help. I don't think Xbox, Game Pass, Microsoft, they don't need your help.
Whew. You heard it here, folks. Doodle's back.
Yeah.
Okay, she's gone a week. She didn't get to say nothing about any of the other stuff that happened. So,
Oh, what's that bitch's name? Saying that Xbox is dead? Amy? Is that her name from last week?
Oh, I don't remember her name.
Well, Xbox is dead. No, honey. Your career with Xbox is dead. Dead. And with anybody else who freaking went ahead and heard you talking shit. Because who's going to hire you if then you're going to run out there and start making up shit or talking crap about whoever you used to work for, right? What are you going to do to them?
Well, I mean, she was probably sleeping somewhere right now, just in bed, and got slapped out of the bed. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even know it happened, but it happened. Shout out to Doodle for slapping him up. Let's get we had some conversation take place. Okay.
Sorry, I hijacked the show.
It's okay. This is good. This is good stuff. Let me get the homie We Need Kills in the building. Thank you, my brother, for being here. Thank you for being a member for 8 months, fam. Appreciate you, homie. Says only industry people pretend to care about layoffs.
Exactly.
I mean, look, again, man, like there's no, like, of course, everybody feels bad for the people who lose their jobs, but like to go in and do something like come out here and lash out as if Microsoft's a bad guy because they had to do what they had to do to keep their business in the direction that they wanted to be going. Come on, man. Like, that's crazy. Nobody owes you any, like, we're in America. That's kind of the point, right? Like, jobs are at will, right? For the most part, unless you're a union, right? Like, you're not forced to work anywhere and no one's forced to fucking hire you. Like, it's just the way it works, or keep you employed, right? Jonas the Dad, member for 15 months. My dude.
Borrow your mic.
Is that
What's wrong with my mic? Oh, my
bad. Jonas the Dad says, so Game Pass is trash, but Xbox is the third most profitable pillar for Microsoft. Pony Logic. Hit that like and share it out. Yes. Please do. Hit the like, share it out.
And thank you for being a member for 15 months. That's awesome.
Very,
yeah,
very
guys,
kindly,
if you
man.
can share the link, that'll be amazing.
Yes. And listen, he's at 15 months. You subscribe and become a member. You could be at your first month before you know it. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be here 15 months later talking about you being a member for 15 months.
That's right.
We have the homie Machine XP in the building.
Machine
Thank you, my
XP.
brother, for
Thank
being here.
you.
Thank you for that $5 super chat, man. Says, why the fuck would Xbox tack on 600 milli COD dev costs on yearly Game Pass budgets if 70% revenue is PlayStation, then Steam, Battle.net, Nintendo, Xbox Store, and Game Pass? You know what, Machine XP, you got to be careful out here because you're talking way too logical for these ponies. You're talking way too logical. They're like, what's 600 million? Oh no, that sounds like it's a big number. I'm not sure. I don't know. Fucking shit, man. Slap them up. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Actually, technically, I completely forgot to go ahead and get my boy Game Shark on the banner. My bad. Hold on, I can't. You know, if I forget, I'm fucked. So biggest super was my boy Game Shark. That $5. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Appreciate you, man. There we go. Okay, let's go back. Then we have our homie Demo Flow Gaming. Oh, dude, my brother, thank you so much for being here, man. Thanks for being a member for 16 months. Holy shit. He says, liar, liar, pants on fire.
That's right.
Mama bichos, ponies, chancleteros. Hey, yo, they doing anything for a W. Glad to see Dark Doodle back in the hood.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. We almost Dark Doodle. Got Machine XP back in the building with that $2 super chat. Appreciate you. Says, I thought this was about competition. Dark Doodle. Yo, facts. 100%. Space Shot with that $2 super chat. Somebody says, I'm not sure I can eat at a buffet again. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. That's hilarious. You got the homie Big Mix Gaming, my dude, member for 17 months.
Thank you.
God damn, my dude.
Yes, yes.
Appreciate the homie. Inner Circle member as well. That's my boy.
Thank you so
Says,
much, bro.
Laughing my fucking ass off. I'm crying. Damn it, I miss Doodle.
Oh, I miss
Sorry,
you, baby.
see, you my dude, but Dark Doodle be on fire.
Thank you,
I'll feel for you if you ever get hurt, man. LOL. Blink twice if you are okay. I mean, I'm okay right now. You know, pretty good. I don't think you can see my blinks, you know, later. I'm just like, oh, that's funny. You got the homie Devil Flow game in the building with that $2 super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. Says chancla in the hand. She ain't playing. She was not playing. Doodle doesn't fuck around. Ventus Archer with that $5 super chat. Appreciate you, homie. Says, I swear to God, CMoney, we need you to release separate Doodle rant vids on YouTube. Yo, maybe we have to. Who knows? Who knows? It's like seeing it's like the 10th wonder of the world. You know what I'm saying? The Doodle rant. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get one of those and you're just like, beautiful. We got the homie, our brother, Dave in the building. What's up, my dude? Thank you, my brother, for being here. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Says TTS Doodle is on fire. Talking facts. Suck it, ponies. Yo, big facts. Big facts. Big Main's back with another $2 super chat. Appreciate you, homie. Says Santo Dios Doodle. This is a cremation. Ay chichi. You got the homie Dark Angelic with that $2 super chat. Says Dark Doodle brought more heat than Ghost Rider.
Oh, damn.
That's some heat.
Damn.
That's some heat for sure. God damn.
Thank you, guys. It's just fucking nuts.
Dude, it's true, man.
It's ridiculous. It gets ridiculous out there.
It does. It does. And it's just all so stupid, right? So this is the thing. What makes it all more stupid and more infuriating, okay, is if you go ahead and is that it? No. Okay, wait. I thought I had it. I'll get it.
Baby says that's why he can't touch his eyes. They're swollen.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
That's real
That's
fucked
fucked
up.
up.
All right, hold on. It's almost here. I got it. Okay, so remember, people took this this statement and fucking ran so far with it, right? Like it's just you can't even see them with how far they ran with that entire conversation from Mr. Chris String, right? But the crazy shit is that right after, and I feel like now this is just being a bitch because I had it and now it just disappeared, so I don't know who did it. But all this smoke was going on, people going crazy, articles, videos, Game Pass dying, Game Pass not sustainable, Phil's a liar, they're all trashy people, how dare they, I can't believe they did this, they lied to you and you guys just gobble Phil's dick anytime he says anything, he said it was profitable and he lied, Christopher Dring just fucking roasted him and told him that he's a liar, right? All these things took place. But then, what's today? Is today the 8th?
Yeah.
So then today, Christopher Dring decided he wants to do another post. Okay. Clearly to double down and stick by what he said. Christopher Dring writes, okay, I need to correct/clarify something. First, Xbox Game Pass is profitable.
Oh.
Even when you factor in the lost sales for its first party teams. Sources who would know have told me. So, to be clear, Game Pass wasn't profitable with your own research. But then you had to get corrected and proven that your research was actually incorrect. Therefore, anyone who follows you or looks for you to give them some insight based off of your research should probably never do so again.
If you have freaking dumb bitch syndrome, you shouldn't be doing any research. You should not.
Don't research. Put your fucking book down, son. All right.
There is no hope, bitch. You should not be out there informing anybody.
It's hilarious. All right. So he continues. So now he's going to explain to us all the hard work he did. Over 18 months ago, I checked with Xbox about what's included in the Game Pass P&L, which is profits and losses. Basically, I was looking to see if Game Pass's costs factor in the impact to unit sales of their internal studios. I was told that first-party games have their own P&L separate to Game Pass as they make money via other means, which is exactly what we just talked about before, right? Just to make sure that checks out. I felt this piece of internal accountancy might mean Game Pass is profitable, but it sure does put pressure on the margins for its internal games and possibly means some studios don't make as much profit or any profit at all. First of all, didn't we just tell him that his research is not worth shit anymore?
He wants to give us a breakdown.
So why is he trying to give us some type of breakdown of what he thinks, what he believes, because they do their accounting the way that it makes sense for them? God damn. But then he continues. That doesn't actually matter in real terms. So he just took everything he wrote and said, hey, joke's on you, you stupid bitch, for reading that, because it doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't actually matter in real terms. But seeing the impact Game Pass was having on first-party games and the amount of money Xbox was spending on studios, I wanted to check if the full impact of the service was being considered in their Game Pass is profitable line. For no reason whatsoever, Christopher Dring embarked on a research project that no one asked him to do
journey for 18 months
to see when he heard Phil Spencer, the motherfucking head of Xbox and Microsoft Gaming, tell the world on multiple occasions to shut the fuck up. Game Pass is profitable for them. And Christopher Dring said, challenge accepted. I will fucking research like I never researched before. Fuck my college research paper. This is my next fucking moment. I will show the world. And then he came out and did all his research for 18 months. He's been researching. And he came out and he was like, yo, that shit's not possible. I'm sorry, that shit's not profitable. 2 seconds later, he gets a phone call. And he writes another fucking tweet. Let me explain. Okay, when I said it wasn't profitable, I meant it actually was in every conceivable way you can put it. Okay, that was
his college tickets diploma away. Twinkle, twinkle, baby.
Twinkle, twinkle, baby. Oh my God.
If there was a journalism license, his would have been revoked.
They would have been revoked after this one.
Yeah.
This is some crazy shit. This is so crazy. What's that thing that say like don't come at the king and miss or some shit like that?
Yeah, you can't miss, man. You can't
like, how you gonna go and write a whole ass fucking back and forth talking about how that shit ain't profitable. They don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. 45 outlets picked that shit up. It's over. Game Pass is dead. And one phone call to you changes everything.
I'm happy that this shit took place because listen, if you went ahead after Phil told you how great they're freaking doing and believe this nonsense, then you're a dumb bitch. Like, seriously. How do you go ahead and hear this nonsense and you're like, oh yeah, you know what? He's right. He has changed my mind. Like, who do you go by? They come out here. They tell you things. If you put on your freaking earmuffs and you don't want to hear it, that's on you. The world is ending every freaking time. These dumbasses want to come out with an article. Crazy.
It is.
And Kings, yes, you can use it, but I'm not responsible for anything that takes place.
Yes.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So it continues. This was before Xbox started publishing fully on PlayStation 5. Studios can now make stronger margins on premium sales as a result of that move. But regardless to all that, sources have reached out to tell me that even when you include lost revenue associated with first-party games. Ooh.
I mean, you heard about his research.
I did. I did.
At least he spelled party properly.
For sure.
Yeah.
It says not just unit sales, but microtransactions too. Wow. Even lost microtransactions? That don't make no sense.
How do they lose microtransactions?
How do you lose the microtransaction?
PlayStation, though, by the way. That's what he's trying to insinuate. Sometimes
a
simple apology, bro, it's enough. Like, hey, I was wrong. Sorry about that shit.
Just so I know.
Right?
Just so I know. Hold on. How do they lose microtransactions if the game's in Game Pass?
They don't.
Anybody want to fucking answer that
Take
shit?
that one?
No. They don't. That's interesting. Game Pass is still profitable. So that's great. Right. Tony Hawk's out. Let's get back to that. Yo, my dude was shitting bricks when he got that fucking phone call. He instantly shit his pants and wrote this message all at the same time. I believe he was on the toilet writing this because that's where it was. That's wild. Okay, well, we heard the crackhead scenario. Okay. And I want to obviously get you guys' take on this stuff. On both of them. I don't know if did we stop to get your guys' take on the last one?
I think so. On the well, no, that was mainly on the Romero
games
stuff.
I didn't really get to talk about Romero games much, but who wants to follow up after Dark Doodle,
Yeah.
Well, listen, look, I'll get both. So once you guys go in, you guys talk about both, whatever. Just because it's all one, like it's one topic, one overarching topic, which is this debunking these rumors, right? Where they come out, talk all this shit, and then have to fucking backtrack immediately. It just so happens that God said, you know what? Let's give on point 2 of these bitches back to back. You know what I'm saying? Let's give them 2. So before we do that, let's get our motherfucking homie DJ Birdo Dose Noob in the building. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for that $2 super chat. Says that mofo went out there and did a whole dissertation. Oh yeah, they had him fucking scared.
They fucking DM'd Nib GPT and said, "Hey,
oh my
what
God,
should I write?"
Fucking Nib. Jesus. Machine XP in the building. My dude, thank you, my brother, for being here, man. Thank you for that $5 super chat. Says, riddle me this. Why the fuck does this goofy dude, Christopher Cockeye, always gotta correct himself every single time he makes up an Xbox story? Because you know why, Machine XP? Because people like this understand something, and I'm gonna tell you this is a real life thing, and this actually goes to people themselves, right? There's normal people out in the street that right? See, this is the thing. The damage was done. Putting out these articles, talking this shit, most people are going to take that information and run with it and not look back to fact check anything. And even if they do go back, they'll just go ahead and make up think about all these ponies that you see who now some of them, to be fair, for like one of the first times, because I think you're getting to this point now where there's no denying shit, right? So some of these ponies are smartening up and they're taking the L's, right? I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'll take the L. This is what's been happening. But most of the time, these motherfuckers just live in delusional land and just keep rocking. Like this wasn't debunked, right? That's why we have to talk about it, because if we didn't, people would still be thinking that shit is just real. So, but appreciate that super chat, brother. All right, so Farrell, we heard both stories, right? We heard the Romero games. Oh man, Xbox piece of shit. They fucking closed down Romero Games by taking away the one game that they were working on. They didn't fund it anymore. Romero Games is dead. And then Romero comes out like, yo, fam, we're alive. Thank you. But appreciate the concern. It's just so, like, I hear it and I hear myself say it. And it's like, yo, one DM. Mm-hmm. One DM. Yo, John, Romero, is there any truth to the shit? Nah, dog. Oh, okay, cool. Like, save yourself the articles, right? But they don't care. Why? Because the articles still made them the money it made them that day, right? They still got the traction they wanted that day, right? So it's like when you know somebody who does something that they know they shouldn't have done, but they do it anyway, and then say sorry because, well,
they already got
what they wanted,
right?
So like, if you know somebody who ate like the last pizza without saying nothing to nobody, right? And then you confront them and you're like, yo, did you eat that last fucking piece of pizza? And they're like, oh shit, I didn't know that was your pizza. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, but does that sorry bring back my pizza? No, right? So again, the sorry doesn't do anything. The damage was done. Very little people check back to see what is what, right? So, so that happened with Romero, and then you have obviously this one, right? Game Pass, unsustainable. Oh my god, it's so unsustainable. And then now it's sustainable or profitable. Oh, actually, wait. No, hold on. There's another side situation because he actually is just talking about profitable. But I'm bringing up unsustainable because of this bitch over here. This dude. Damn, I forgot about this. Sorry. So this is Rafael Calantanina, Wolfeye Games, founder of Arcane Studios.
So
Wow.
he wasn't there when they were even acquired, when ZeniMax was even acquired.
No, he was gone before Xbox bought them. So he had nothing to do with Arcane before any of the shit.
Yeah, because he was talking as if he was a part of that.
Oh yeah. Again, everybody wants to be a part of it. Everybody wants to be in the cool club. He's not one though. He made a game that nobody cares about. So he says, why is no one talking about the elephant in the room? Cough, cough. Game Pass. Okay. Somebody said Ratchet Taco asked him, as a developer, what are your thoughts on Game Pass? Rafael Calantina blah blah says, I think Game Pass is an unsustainable model that has been increasingly damaging the industry for a decade, subsidized by Microsoft's quote unquote infinite money. But at some point, reality has to hit. I don't think Game Pass can coexist with other models. They'll either kill everyone else or give up. First of all, those two options have nothing to do with what, like, those are the stupidest fucking. They're either going to kill everybody in the building or they're just going to say, fuck it, and walk away.
It's wild.
Yeah, but
that's some stupid shit.
What do you think they're trying to do?
we might say it sound we may say it sounds stupid, but I do think there is a legitimacy as far as the thought process that's the thought process that a lot of people have towards this service, and that's why they are fighting.
When you say a lot of people, I want you to be a little more specific.
Like
which people?
These ponies in particular.
So,
and the media who grew up as PlayStation fans and who are ponies with a pen and a platform. They
so
see
basically
that
all the stupid fucks
smooth
have
brains.
The same idea,
brains.
the smooth brains, as King would say.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead.
So
I mean, now that all the smooth brains think the same. Got it. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. So the fear is that Xbox and what they are doing is going to kill off the competition. They don't see how their platform can survive. It's quite apparent because everything that they've weaponized about the Xbox platform and everything they've done to try to kill it, Microsoft has, combated it and proven them wrong. And right now, this is like the Hail Mary. Like everything we're seeing right now is the Hail Mary. The lady who came out said that they don't think Xbox is going to make hardware. Next thing you know, Xbox says we're going to make hardware. Sony says, oh, are they getting out of the hardware business? No, bitch, we're here. And
hold on. And the layoffs, they're gonna let go of all their hardware. The team is gonna be gone because they're not making hardware anymore.
And they're
no one from the hardware team got let go.
Yeah, no one from the hardware team got let go.
Motherfucker.
So it's man. Like, I mean, unfortunately, people lost their jobs, but it happened all across Microsoft. Some people in the gaming division were affected, and that's the division that we care about because we care about games. But if your Excel spreadsheet doesn't work tomorrow when you go to work, I'm sure you'll be upset too. But I mean, this is literally just a Hail Mary from the ponies, from the media ponies, from the developer ponies, because I'm sure you're going to continue to go through this conversation, but I prefer the Sony way of doing it. I prefer the Sony model. Why don't you prefer the Nintendo model? Like, Why is it specifically the Sony model that you prefer? Or why don't you prefer the Steam model? Like, you know, what's so special about the Sony model that's the one that that instantly comes to your mind? That's where your fandom lies, because that's the first thing that came to your mind. So I mean, that's all this is. It's purely a Hail Mary. They're trying to kill Xbox before Xbox, you know, really does what they fear it's going to do. That's all this is.
Yeah, I feel that. Before we get our boy Fuzzy in the building, let's get our homie Big Mace Game with that $5 which I appreciate your homie. Says the whole negative spin he put on the Game Pass story is already out there. Nobody is gonna remember this. They're gonna remember that false shit. Mama Bicho. Mama Bicho indeed. Facts. My brother. And we got the motherfucking homie Hargy Chani, member for 17 months, man. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Says another day, another Xbox negative story. Xbox studios don't make profits. They contribute to Xbox and Microsoft profits. They are employees. It's almost as if you had half a brain, this wouldn't, you know, be such a big deal, right? So as our boy Fuzzy alluded to, I'll give you some more context, Fuzzy, before you get to go in, so you can go in on everything. The same Baldur's Gate guy popped up in this conversation because, you know, he's remember Baldur's Gate is the one that took the PlayStation bag and went first, right, to PlayStation, so that they can drop on the same day as Starfield and not have competition because there wasn't anything happening on PlayStation when Starfield. Okay. And one of those games sold tremendously well. And the other one did good. Whichever one, who knows? But he jumped in. What happens when all the money runs out is the most vocal concern in my network. And one of the main, first of all, what happens when all that money runs out? Then you don't get another fucking deal, jackass. Like, what the fuck type of what happens when all the money runs out? You don't get any more. What the fuck? like bitch, your bag is one time. Like, if you got your bag.
I've never heard this in any business. Like, you ride the wave and you make as much money as you can on that wave, and when that wave is over, you ride the next wave and you make as much money as you can. Like, they're literally doing it right now with all this live service shit. Like,
oh my god,
you think live service will last forever? Like,
dude, it's so fucking stupid. It's so stupid. All right, let me get through this so Fuzzy can go. All right. He says, and one of the main economic reasons people I know haven't shifted to its business model. The infinite money thing never made any sense. First of all, none of those people are getting infinite money from them.
No one ever.
You're getting a bag, a certain dollar amount. Maybe you get some points on the back end if it does really well. Like, come on, man, shut the fuck up. So Raphael joins in and says, I agree. And I'm fed up with all the BS they fed us at first. Like, don't worry. It doesn't impact the sales. Only to admit years later that it totally does. No shit, it does. Really? So are you suggesting that you were stupid enough to believe it in the beginning? And now, like, is that what you're saying? I don't understand. And first of all, we have like literal documented success where Game Pass has taken a game that was in Game Pass and elevated its success everywhere else because of the word of mouth. Now, It's not our fault that your game wasn't good enough to get any word of mouth. That's why you're crying, bitch, because your shit failed in comparison to all the success stories we have.
Which means it was going to fail anyway. So stop crying. Stop crying.
Facts.
If Game Pass couldn't save it.
Yeah,
seriously.
There's just so much to dive into this. And I'll start with these two, the guy from Baldur's Gate and the guy that used to be part of Arcane. I guess they forgot that Steam exists and PlayStation still exists. Like, okay, so your game being on Game Pass affects sales on Xbox. Maybe it affects sales on Steam. maybe it affects sales on PlayStation, but that would mean that those PlayStation customers that aren't buying it also own an Xbox. And we know that that's not a true one-to-one in all of the PlayStation sales that are out there. There's 77 million, PS5s out there. Not every one of those PS5 owners owns an Xbox. In fact, the funny thing is some of that number are PS5 owners that own multiple PS5s, like an upstairs one, a downstairs one. That's not everybody, but that's a significant amount. But also, like we talked about earlier, there's a ton of PS4 still out there. So if your game isn't on PS4 and it's only on PS5, sure, there's 77 million of them out there. But if they're the type that are the casual and buy, Call of Duty, maybe they buy Madden or NBA 2K or FIFA or FC, whatever it's called these days, great. And they're not buying, Baldur's Gate 3 because it's a turn-based game, which is a niche game. Sure, it won Game of the Year in some cases, but that's still not going to convince that Madden fan or that NBA 2K fan necessarily to buy that game. It's not their genre. And the same thing for Weird West. Weird West, while a cool game and it, fits the Game Pass model, but it's not like when I say it fits the Game Pass model, it's that type of game where you would probably be on the fence of buying it. And then you play it for a bit and then you decide, yeah, it's worth, 40 or 50 bucks or whatever it was. Or maybe you figure it's not worth it or you wait for a sale. But the thing I don't get is that, Steam exists and a lot more people buy on Steam. Like there's more active users on Steam and they also have deep sales every year, couple times a year. If your game didn't sell there, maybe the problem isn't Game Pass. Maybe it's your game. But all in all, I think this jilted girlfriend attitude that these guys have needs to stop. Like it's really telling that if you're so worried about Game Pass and your game either isn't continuing to sell or it's sold as much as it's going to sell, then what are you worried about? Like, move on. Like, they're not going to let you in the door for free. They're not, you may not like the bag that they're offering. They're not going to increase the value of the bag. Your game is getting older by the second. So the value of the bag goes down by the second. So just move on. All this crying is not going to change Phil's mind or Sarah Bond's mind about bringing you into the service or giving you some sort of bonus. Like, there's supposedly different types of Game Pass deals. Some of it is an upfront bag. Some of it is based on download. Some of it's based on active users and things like that. So if he picked the wrong, deal, that's on them. Maybe they'll learn from next time, or maybe they won't because they seem stuck on, Xbox for whatever reason. But it is what it is. But this whole Game Pass thing, and Pharaoh touched on it as well. Live service games, black hole games. Like, I don't know why people aren't pointing the finger at that. There were actual studies and actual reports, and Matt Piscatella, whether you like him or not, pointed some things out with at least having some evidence-based stuff to show, hey, look, people play these games and aren't buying games like they used to. Hey, look, $70 games slowed the sale of games overall. Like, when I remember personally for myself, when games were $60 before, there were a lot more games I would pre-order and buy day one. Where I playing them day one? Not always, but I didn't care. It was just like, well, it's 60. It didn't feel like I'm gonna really be bummed about a game that by the time I do get around to playing it, it's actually in Game Pass or PS Plus, or maybe it's on sale for 50% off, like most Ubisoft games. But no, I'm buying them day one like a knucklehead and not really thinking about it. When they went up $10, it's like, well, wait a minute. Not the $10 once is going to break you, but if you're buying, like somebody like me, when I was buying games for the boys as well as for myself, I was buying at least 15 games at a minimum a year. Like on average, I was spending $1,500 in Xbox alone. That's
wild.
Maybe a lot. that's not a lot to some other enthusiasts, but that was a lot to me in the sense that if it goes up another $10, yeah, I gotta be more strategic in which games I'm picking. Plus, I was looking at some of the games I was buying were coming to Game Pass anyway by the time I would play them. So maybe I hold back on that and then put more money into season passes of other games I enjoy. Or maybe I'll just focus on the games that I know I'm going to play right off the rip. And then by the time I get to those other games, maybe they'll be on sale, or hopefully they'll be patched and work, because things like, what was it? Jedi Survivor really pissed me off with EA. I mean, Battlefield 2042 also kind of pissed me off, where it was kind of broken at launch, but most Battlefields are broken at launch, but that one was broken in a way that pissed me off. But Jedi Survivor really pissed me off because everybody's giving it 9s and 10s, and performance mode didn't work unless you wanted to look like you were a particle system, disappearing on and off the screen, or having other, glitches and stuff. But all those influencers that said it was a 9 or a 10, well, EA is going to do a day one patch, and the day one patch didn't fix shit. But all of that aside, hey, $70 games. And I vowed at that point, well, maybe I'll be more, cautious when I buy these games. Now they're starting to bump up to 80. I'm going to be even more cautious. Like, if the game isn't coming out perfect day one, don't expect to see my money, period. Maybe you'll see it a year later when it's 50% off, because you've already had all the patches to fix all the stuff. And maybe you've reduced the price on the, the DLC and stuff. So it's not a matter of Game Pass is the thing that negatively affected my approach on buying games. It's the crappy stuff that some of these publishers have been putting out, where they need a day one patch or a day 30 patch or a 1 year patch and so forth, that have affected it. And the extra $10 and $20 have affected it. Plus with the, black hole games, like I'm still playing Division 2. Brooklyn DLC just came out a couple of weeks ago. Still playing that. And that game is 7 years old? How many games have I missed out on that 7-year-old game that I'm still playing? I'm still playing a lot of Forza Horizon 5. How many other games am I missing out on? Because I still play that just about daily. So I don't know. I don't see how Game Pass is the end all be all for the woes and problems of gaming, whether it's AAA space or just gaming in general. Oh, Microsoft pulls funding, and it's all rain clouds and dead puppy dogs or something stupid. It's like Ring feels like the guy that you may not have waved to him or said hi to him, and now he takes it personal every time he puts pen to paper. It's like, dude, did Phil piss in your Cheerios or something? Because you really need to get out more and actually either play games with your crossed eyes, or just focus on gaming as a whole. Like, I didn't see him say boo about any of the closures over at Sony. I didn't see him say boo about, Nintendo bricking systems when, oh, well, yeah, some people are, pirating games. Some other people are actually using that for the games they own to be able to play it on one device, as opposed to, having to break out the old, Switch 1 or Game Boy or whatever system they had some of those older Nintendo games on. But now they want to brick it. And I'm glad Brazil is, taking them to court about it and warning them, they might have to pull devices being sold in that region because of it. And maybe the UK will pick up on that as well. Who knows if we'll ever get customer protection type stuff here in the States, but all of that aside, it just feels like all of these guys want to pick Game Pass as the boogeyman when there are so many other easier targets, like the free-to-play games, like the black hole games that, you're on year 8 of, season pass 20 something, and people are spending money there and spending money on microtransactions. It's like they forgot that with Game Pass, you can still buy the game, or you can, even better, you can buy the game at a discount, which they should be cheering that on, considering how digital prices are going up. But no, Game Pass is the boogeyman. So stay away from it, because we like to own our games. But then they don't even challenge the publishers when the digital games don't have the full game, or not the full game, like the physical games don't have the full game on disc in a lot of cases. And then you got publishers like Ubisoft saying, you need to get used to not owning your games, because they're shutting down the servers after 4 years, or in Concord's case, after 8 days. Like, I don't know. There's so many other bigger targets that are problems within gaming that Game Pass is, I would say, the least of their worries. And some of their worries or concerns are on their own platform, and they choose to ignore it. But as far as the Romero stuff, like I said earlier, it sucks. But hey, he has that potential to still bring that game to the masses, and hopefully it sells well. Hopefully all those that are bad mouthing it and embarrassed of Xbox will support that game if Devolver Digital publishes it, or 505, or whoever publishes it. I want to see that they buy that game and shut the fuck up about stuff like this. Instead of worrying about one studio, worry about what games we have coming, whether it's you're on the PlayStation platform and you're looking forward to leftover Xbox games, or maybe that one game a year that you're going to get from PlayStation. Start asking the questions of where's Factions at. I know they canceled it, but it's like, you would think at this point it might be a good idea for them to revisit that, since Fair Game, I guess, is not coming out. We got Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox, but what's happening with Marathon? It's I don't know. It feels like all of the gaming media are so blinded to anything PlayStation does, or anything that goes wrong over there, or even Nintendo for that matter, which, by the way, I have a Switch 2, and I got my own issues with Nintendo, being the Sega kid, but hey, I bought a Switch 2 anyway to see what this Nintendo hypnotism they seem to have on many of their fans is. But I don't know. Game Pass is not the problem. Game Pass being profitable, I guess they forgot that monthly subscription numbers, and let's not even do full boat numbers. Let's say instead of the $20 for Ultimate, which we know most of the subscribers are Ultimate subscribers, and then next is PC, let's just go somewhere in the middle. We won't even do 15 a month. We'll do 10 a month, because you can get discounts through CD keys and other places, although it's a little bit trickier than it's been in the past. But if you have 35 million subscribers paying $10 a month, isn't that like 350 million a month that they're getting from Game Pass, which would kind of equal out to that 4 or 5 billion that Game Pass is bringing every year? And that's not profitable. Like, even if you look at what the cost of AAA games are, if they're releasing, let's say, 10 games that are 300 million, I think the Game Pass money is ahead. But then again, they're also selling those games on other platforms, and they're still selling those games on Xbox, and they're selling them also on PC between Steam and the Microsoft Store. And I don't know. Maybe
it makes sense, man. It's the problem.
I was more into math as far as just looking at like basic things, and it doesn't seem like they're even doing the most basic of basic math. Like, I would say, instead of worrying about if Game Pass is cannibalizing the sales of first party studios, ask yourself, all of those live service games that Sony canceled, along with some of the studios they acquired and then closed, how much does that equal? Like, we hear the number that was bounced around somewhere around 400 million for Concord and 8 years of development, right? But how much did they pay to get the studio? I mean, is the total loss 500 billion? Or not billion, 500 million? Or is it $1 billion, $2 billion by the time you look at salaries and lights and all that crap? And then with Fair Game, well, Jade Raymond is gone. They bought that studio off of her, and it doesn't look like if the game is coming out. If it does, maybe it comes out next year, but I was under the impression it was supposed to come out this year. We haven't really heard much about Fair Game since. And then look at Bungie. They were paying $4 billion for that, and they still haven't paid that off. And it looks like they're either going to dissolve them or absorb them. And where's Marathon now? Like, oh, Marathon is magically or mysteriously delayed. Like, why is nobody talking about that? Like, how that's $4 billion in the toilet, basically. And aren't those the same? And I don't want to call the people at Bungie bums, but aren't those the same bums that canceled or said that Factions isn't ready? Factions ain't it. You got to do this, and this to get this to go, and then they wind up canceling it. How much money did they spend on Naughty Dog working on Factions for all those years? How much money did they spend on that? The web or the Spider-Man multiplayer game that isn't going to see the light of day. And I know they canceled one of the Horizon games. I don't know if that was the one that was supposed to be that Fortnite looking one, or if it was an MMO version or whatever the case is. But how much money was wasted on that? And here you got like Ben Studios that could have spun up something like Days Gone 2, but no, we're not going to do Days Gone 2. We're going to have them do a games as a service, and then that gets canceled before we even hear or see it. So I get it where people are mad at Microsoft for canceling, Perfect Dark and, Everwild and that Project Blackbird and stuff. But where's that same concern about, all the games as a service ones that were canceled? I don't know. Maybe they really want Sony just to do single player story driven narrative games, which is fine. And maybe that will keep them happy until they start showing up on Xbox because Nixus is porting them over or something. But all in all, I don't get why the gaming media, every time there's a problem with Microsoft, it's got to be Game Pass's fault, or it's got to be studio mismanagement. The king of studio mismanagement right now to me is Sony with Bungie. Like, prove me wrong. Like, how much of a dumpster fire has that been since they've acquired them? I think Doodle made mention of it earlier about the guy showing the women all the cars and stuff. Well, people don't even have money in their check to eat. Like, seriously? Like, that's not mismanagement. Oh, the guy let a whole bunch of people go before they got vested with the extra bonus money that was supposed to be for retention, but yet they still let the people go just so he gets more money in his pocket. Yeah. That's not a dumpster fire. No, that can't be. No, it's got to be something like the initiative, which let's be real. When you have too many cooks in the kitchen, you're going to break some eggs. And I always thought it was a weird thing to have all of that high class talent for that studio. And I kind of got the idea or the impression that they were supposed to be the think tank, come up with an idea, hand it off to another studio, which it seemed like that was the case. But somewhere along there, things went awry and, things happen. I get it. But why wasn't that same effort and bad mouthing the initiative or Xbox about all of that stuff not pointed at Naughty Dog when they they make good single player games, but they're making factions, which they've done in the past when they made factions for the first game or made the multiplayer for the first game, but all they showed us was concept art. Nobody said boo about them, twiddling their thumbs and only producing concept art and then have the game canceled. No, it's great that it was canceled because, they need to focus on single player games. You might not get Intergalactic for 3 or 4 years. You really think that was the move to make after all those, time and resources thrown in the toilet? I don't know. I've probably rambled enough here, but it just feels like it's misdirection. All of the Ring particularly, but I don't know. Maybe he can only keep one eye on Xbox and one eye on the paper he's writing, kind of thing, as opposed to focusing on stuff that Sony's doing. But it just feels like there's so much stuff that him as well as a lot of other individuals in the media are missing. Where Xbox is the the root of all evil in gaming, but yet Sony can't do any wrong except for close some studios and nobody say boo about it. And Nintendo can't do any wrong except for brick some consoles and nobody say boo about it. But Xbox, they're the ones kicking puppies and shaking babies or whatever. It needs to stop. I mean, put the Ring on that pay no mind list or whatever. But just know everything. Any post he has Xbox in the title or in that dissertation, as somebody eloquently put it, just pay it no mind. Just know that it's going to be for clicks. Just know it's for bringing attention to something that or his failing paper or website or whatever the case is, and move on from there. But that's all I got, because it really doesn't make sense that these people keep on getting away with doing the same stuff. It's like, isn't that the definition of crazy? Like, it'll be 2 months from now and they'll say again, well, is Game Pass sustainable? Is Microsoft going to cancel Game Pass? It's like, stop telling people what you wish to happen. Like, I get it. Sony's never going to do a Game Pass equivalent. Stop trying to poo-poo on Game Pass. Either enjoy it or ignore it. Like, I've never seen people that hate this brand so much talk so much about it. Like, I don't know. I don't like Hyundais. Not a knock to anybody that owns one, but you're not going to hear me talk bad about a Hyundai. Like, I
Who
just
don't
wanna
hate
buy one.
Hyundais?
I do so
Holy
bad.
shit.
Oh my gosh, Fuzzy.
Yo,
So
I mean,
bad.
oh my God.
I mean, they're not.
wanna tell the
I look at
story.
it this way. It's like
Oh.
it's a car that I won't own. It's not for me. But if somebody else enjoys them, that's great. I'm not going to be like that guy. You're like, you know what? My dad drove one or took one for a test drive for an hour, and the thing was smoking when he came back to the dealership. Or that everybody I've known that's owned one has had ignition problems or something. No, I'm not going to do that. I'd be like, if you want that car, by all means, buy that car. It's not my. I don't have to drive it, so it doesn't bother me. So, like, they need to take that same approach. I don't know. Maybe I'm the
I hear
crazy
you.
one. I'm probably the crazy one.
That's-
I don't know.
No, 100% truth, man. It's 100% truth. It's
Yeah,
wild,
you
but
preaching there.
I mean, it was fucking fantastic because this is the reality of what it is. But this is the world that we live in, where they think that it's just a pile on an Xbox and it's okay. And that's what all the media, that's what all the Twitter clicks and the YouTube clicks show you. You talk shit about Xbox in a
You're keeping it real.
in a good enough way. You're keeping it real. You're keeping it a buck. You're giving them the smoke. You're holding their feet to the fire. You're creeping in their room while they're sleeping and holding the pillow over their face. However, that's it's okay if it's happening to Xbox. Fucking ridiculous. Let's get some of the homies in the building. You got the homie Suicide Kings in the building. Thank you, my brother, for being here. Thank you for that $2 super chat.
Thank
Says,
you.
remember, devs are forced to put their games on Game Pass. Bro, it's the stupidest thing ever, bro. It's the stupidest conversation. They not only are they not forced to put their games on Game Pass, if they do put their games on Game Pass, they get a bag for doing so. And unlike PlayStation, they can also put their games everywhere. So they get their bag for Game Pass, they sell it on Xbox, they sell it on PC, they sell it on PlayStation. If the game is there, they sell it on Nintendo. There's no boundaries for them. They can sell wherever they want, but also get a guaranteed bag. There is no way that you can say that Game Pass is a problem for anyone. The only people who have to feel that way are people who don't make good enough games, that selling on other consoles is not enough for you. So anyway, bullshit. But got the homie Hard Geek Tiny in the building. We got $2 super chat. Appreciate your fam. Says when the money runs out, you get a PlayStation. Simple as that. Simple as that. Just do it and you're done. Nobody cares. We have the motherfucking homie Mac22TH54 with that $10 super chat, officially the highest super chat of the night.
Thank you.
Says,
so much.
Fuzzy, I'm interested on your take on Destin on the whole fake Microsoft Xbox outrage. Ooh. Actually, we didn't really talk about that because we have these other things, but this is a great little thing we could talk about real quick. Hashtag Dark Doodle. I'd pay real money to see you and Destin debate. Hashtag grown man in tears. Hashtag Dark Doodle from the top rope. So Mac 22T, appreciate you, my brother. Again, thank you for that $10 super chat. Fuzzy, he wants to know what your take is. I don't know if you've kept up with the like crazy amount of tweets / live streams he's been doing about this whole thing. This motherfucker looked at this shit like a full ass cow, and he is milking every fucking drop of this bitch, bro. It's nonstop. It's nonstop. So, yeah. What do you think about it if you've been keeping up with it?
I haven't kept up with it wholly because I haven't watched his content as far as some of the stuff from the layoffs and the cancellations. But I will say, from my Forza standpoint, I hate that it happened, but I kind of knew something was going to be done with Turn 10 that wasn't going to be to my liking, but I understand. They had a target on their back when they delayed their game from 22 to 23. They did an awesome job getting all of the updates after release. But at the end of the day, they probably should have released it with those from jump. Now, some of that I look at, maybe it's a communication thing between upper management and the heads of the studio at the time when they were doing this ground up redo for motorsport. Like anytime you're basically starting from scratch, it takes time. And I don't know if they had that amount of time properly allocated from the higher ups to say, all right, you got 6 years or 7 years to do this. It doesn't feel like the higher ups really gave them that time. They were kind of expecting the fast turnaround that they've done in many years in the past, which at that point, looking back, maybe it would have been better for them to focus on the tire model and some of the tweaks that they made to the handling model on the existing engine or the previous engine, and then do, the visual updates, which they would have done without any problem, but also focus on like maybe Forza 1 through 4 cars that some of the fans had issues with the models being inaccurate in some cases. That may have, allowed them to get more done in a shorter period of time. But it's hard to say. I kind of feel that the player count number was probably more of the deciding factor. So no matter what they would have done, if they weren't drawing more people to play the game, I think they would have still seen similar cuts. And that's the sad part about it. My only advice would have been to possibly counter that, would have been to open it up to mods, much like in the older game, like Assetto Corsa, although Evo is out there now in preview. A game like that, if you open it up to mods and still keep the online, separate, let's say, as far as so you have fair and balanced races, no cheaters or anything like that, but open it up to mods, that would allow the community to help grow the brand. The brand is strong. It's just a matter of some people were turned off by not having, Brands Hatch or the Australian track at launch and a few other things along those lines. So if you open it up to mods, that kind of counters a lot of the things that they may not have gotten around to at launch, and the mod community would have probably helped them along. But it is what it is. We'll see if, them working with Playground, if the combination of the two can continue to support that along with future Horizon games. But it sounds like they've kind of at least shut down that series for now. Maybe they'll revisit it in a couple of years. When it comes to the Everwild thing, I don't mean to talk bad about Rare, but it just felt like they didn't know what the game was when they first showed it. I had some ideas, and I'm pretty sure other people had some ideas on what that game could have been. And it seemed like it took them way too long to get that figured out, even though they got some stuff going. I know Jez said he had seen some stuff, and some other people I know have seen some stuff behind the scenes. It just felt like I don't want to say this is the case for everybody at Rare, but it just felt like they only wanted to focus on one title, being Sea of Thieves, and that was like their golden ticket. And it didn't feel like there was the energy or enthusiasm behind anything else, whether it be Everwild or anything new. When it came to the whole thing with Perfect Dark, it is what it is. It had its bumpy roads in the early part. It sort of felt or sounded like things were settling once Crystal Dynamics came in. I mean, a few of us were like, hey, acquire Crystal Dynamics so they can be in-house. Who knows? Maybe them not acquiring them was the right move, because if things weren't going as smooth as they could, the result is what it is at that point. I hate it for that title. I would have liked to see in it, but who knows? Maybe something else is cooking in the background. And I'm hoping, by example, how was it Ninja Gaiden 4 was like a funded thing? Maybe we see that with something along the lines of Splinter Cell with Ubisoft. I'm not going to hold my breath on that, but if they've tried that with that studio and that they're seeing good results on that return, maybe we see something like that between them and Ubisoft for Splinter Cell. But I can only hope and dream to have that, kind of go in place of Perfect Dark down the road. As far as that Project Blackbird, I wouldn't say I'm upset, but I kind of called that one without even knowing about it. Like when I heard that there was a secret project in the background, it was like, okay, well, Elder Scrolls is high fantasy. Fallout is post-apocalyptical, and Starfield already has your sci-fi covered. So I was like, just imagine if that team made something like Cyberpunk or something like Blade Runner. And sure enough, that's what the type of game it was. Although it had aliens and stuff involved in it, and it would have been cool to see. But if they were having issues with engines to be able to handle the verticality, that's kind of the same thing that Blizzard had issue with Odyssey. Not necessarily the engine for verticality, but they couldn't, get the engine to work right, or couldn't decide on an engine. And that you can't expect Microsoft to continue spending money while they figure out an engine. Like, the engine should be one of the first few things you get figured out from, the early days of the project. And if they're, 6-7 years in and that's still a problem, it's to be expected that it gets cut. Who knows? Maybe the idea gets revisited at some point. But I think when it comes to anything Bethesda, they're more focused on a Fallout next and an Elder Scrolls 6 next than anything else, and also some side content for Starfield. So we'll see what goes. But
I feel like that's the biggest miss that ZeniMax. I feel like they should have just been working on Starfield Online.
Yeah.
You have Elder Scroll, you have Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not just make that third pillar?
Yeah.
Just make Starfield Online and then do whatever the fuck else you want. But like those, I mean, you're fucking cooking right there. If you have like a fan base that gets to play a game that keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe because Starfield is still in its like infancy where they're still putting out content for it. Maybe that's why they didn't start doing it yet. But still,
yeah,
for like, I don't think MMOs right now are going to be something that you want to create a brand new one with no with no name recognition, and from a first party like big budget game. Right. Yeah. Like, I think some of these, we've seen some like successes, right, with some of these smaller games. What was that? Oh man.
What, Expedition or
no, like an MMO type game. It's like because that's what ZeniMax is making, MMO stuff.
Yeah. There's a good number
Zone Zero, which recently came to Xbox. Ways is another little MMO that's doing really well. It's more like on the mobile scene, mobile PC, I think. MMOs.
Oh, the first Descendant, things like Black Desert, they're really good.
Yeah, that's not really MMO though, is it?
Yeah, it's a massively multiplayer online game. Is it not?
I'm thinking MMO like RPG type thing. Because it was like an RPG type game.
Yeah, but then there's another one too. No, Metaphor single player mass. I see that. Blackbird is the one that just got canceled.
Yeah,
I don't play them, but like the community was telling me that it came out. Amazon has one, right?
Yeah, that one's supposed to be really big. It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah,
I got the name of it.
So that's out, right? So like, I feel like there's enough already out that the only way you should be entering is if you have that name recognition that people would look for. And I feel like Starfield would be the one if you're going to do sci-fi stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that probably would have been the better decision to make as far as doing an MMO. But the concept definitely seemed cool. But when it comes to Destin Legary, it feels like he's a Fairweather fan. Like, I get it. He is an Xbox fan. He's a fan of gaming.
Sorry, Fuzzy. Throne in Liberty. Throne in Liberty. Becca with the game. Yep. Throne in Liberty is the other one that people keep telling me is really good.
Yeah. No, with Destin Legary, sometimes he nitpicks too much. I don't even pay attention to Ryan McCafferty anymore, but when it comes to Destin,
I saw Ryan McCaffrey. I met him at Summer Games Fest. He is a small dude. Yo, they be zooming in on those cameras to fill you in full screen, bro, to make you look like you're a giant. My dude is like, you know what I'm saying? Like a little guy. Little guy is funny.
But with Destin, there are times he definitely points out something that could be improved upon. But then there are times he gets into his like nitpick mode. Like I'll give you a perfect example of his nitpick mode was with Suicide Squad. Like I get it. It wasn't the game that you wanted. And lo and behold, after you couldn't really kill it, but it was already dead, basically, then you realize, oh, it's not so bad. But it's like, just because they didn't give you like an advanced copy and it wasn't a Batman style game, doesn't mean you have to go on the social media every day and tell the world, well, it's not the game I wanted. Well, who cares if it's the game you wanted? Maybe it's the game for somebody out there. At least give it an honest, fair shake. Instead of judging the game by what it could have been or what you wanted it to be, judge it for what it is and go from there. But he couldn't bring himself to do that. And he gets into those doom spirals sometimes, like the whole, Xbox tax, when he was like, I want people to prove to me. It's like your own coworker said, well, Xbox has got no games. And this was in 21 when they won Publisher of the Year. How has that guy got a job if he doesn't know Xbox has games? Like, seriously? Like, those are the times where he shows his ass. And I haven't watched this stuff more recently because I get tired of it, because it's like he's a man baby at that point. There are times where he's literally a man baby and you can see him get frustrated. And then that's when he's like every 5 minutes on social media because he's got a bug up his butt about Xbox. Maybe because some of his friends were laid off, from Xbox. I get it.
I mean, to be fair, that's what he said. And that's really wild to say. Like, I don't know how you took that to come out and be like, well, I have friends who were affected by it, so I'm going to go ahead and write all these articles and do all these live streams talking shit. Your credibility is going in the trash, bro.
Window, yeah.
You don't fucking say that you're doing the smear campaign against Xbox because your Wenzies lost their job, you wobbies. Like, are you fucking cracked?
CMoney, friendship is magic.
Bro, are you like, that's your friendship is magic, babe? Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
But here's the thing. I have friends that have lost jobs at Microsoft as well. Like one that worked on a team of hardware that I'm looking, or not hardware, software I'm looking forward to for the next gen. And they're laid off. And it's not like they were like twiddling their thumbs or anything. It's like, hey, it's a number. Certain percentage of people got to go. We got to trim things up. He's not the head of that department. So c'est la vie. And it sucks. And I'm mad about it, but it's not like I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm not buying another Xbox thing. It's just like, okay, I told him, it's like, if you need anything, or if you want to find a different career in something automotive, I'll put some feelers out and then, find you something that might be similar numbers to what you were making, and it might be in similar areas to where you're located now. That's all I can do as a friend. I'm not going to be like, because the company I used to work for laid off some of my friends while I was still working there. And it's like, it sucks. It's like, oh, well, we could probably have some beers at the end of the night. And it's like, yeah, man, it sucks that they laid off like 15% of the people. And I gotta, leave because I gotta go to work tomorrow. I don't know how I'm gonna do it because, I used to rely on, a certain amount of my team and half of it's gone. So it's like, yeah, but yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to go on a smear campaign because they laid off half my team. Well, one, I'm still working there when that happened when I was at the team or the company I used to work for. But as far as Xbox, I go out there and do a stupid smear campaign.
You didn't go into your boss's office and throw him your fucking badge or your key or your fucking papers, whatever the fuck you have to prove that you work there. Like this, you fired all those people. I don't want a job either.
Like, everyone's had a friend fired at work, and guess what? You went back to work the next day. You was like, damn,
exactly. Fuck. Sucks for you, dog, but I still got my job. Like, what do you want me to do?
I better be careful.
And the other thing is, why
are you gonna catch me saying fuck my boss? Well, you gonna try to get me too? Fuck that.
No, but on the flip side of things, like, okay, I'm not working at that company where my friend gets laid off. I'm not going to do a smear campaign because if it gets back that, okay, that person that was fired was a friend of mine, and this knucklehead that's out there doing the smear campaign is somewhat associated with you, it's probably going to reflect bad on that person finding a job within that industry later. Or
Exactly.
if you're this, reporter or games journalist, you doing this stupid smear campaign might close some doors as well. So it's like, why go after a company that's doing company things? Like, I guess he didn't have anybody at Bungie that got laid off. I guess he didn't have anybody at Firewalk that got laid off. I guess he didn't have anybody at that Neo Koi or whatever that got laid off. Like, there are tons of people in that industry that get laid off. It is a volatile industry, more so than many. Tech in general is volatile. Gaming is probably the most volatile of them all. There are jobs let go almost monthly, and then there are new companies almost formed, like, I wouldn't say daily, but just as frequently monthly. It's an ebb and flow thing. It's a bigger problem with the industry as a whole, not just Xbox, not just Sony, not just Nintendo. Everything in this industry is volatile. And until, I guess, some of the powers that be figure out, okay, instead of ramping up from 200 employees to 500 employees and then laying off 200 or 300 after the project's done, why not just stick around 350 or so and then stay with that amount the entire time and focus on the non-crunch work that you have to do throughout the year, instead of like what I've seen in many companies, not just in gaming, but other companies outside of gaming, where people kind of, put things off and not really twiddle their thumbs, but, just go through the motions of, oh, well, I'll get it done, by the deadline. And then deadline is like 2 weeks away. Now everybody's got to pull all-nighters. Guess what? If you had been doing the work you were supposed to do prior to that, you wouldn't have to pull that all-nighter. But it's hard getting people into that mindset unless your management that's within that group are of that mindset. If the management's crap, or I won't say crap, because not every manager can take the steps to make sure that the staff is, ahead of the curve all the time, but that would be the ideal situation. So you don't have to worry about crunch, and you don't have to worry about ramping up and hiring a whole bunch of contractors to only let them go after you had to spend all that time training them on whatever, proprietary engine or software you're working on. But I don't know. Like I said, Destin can be a man baby at times, and he gets a bug up his butt about something and he won't let it go, instead of just, like, yeah, my friend got let go. Let me see if I can find anything out there for them. Sure, they're going to look for themselves, but if you can help in that regard, that would be more helpful than doing a smear campaign, unless you just want to alienate everybody in the industry, because it's industry wide, not Xbox wide or Microsoft only. It is industry wide. That's all I got to say. I'm sorry.
They don't like what you're saying. All right, Fuzzy. Ponies are going to fight. They don't want to hear none of this logic. How dare you speak logic to them? It's not gonna. No, they won't stand for this. Okay, they won't stand for this. No, I mean look, I'm not going after anybody with this, but I just think that you don't. I think that if you're Destin in his position, you don't come out here after talking so much shit about what happened, and then come out and say that, well, yeah, I have friends. I see my LinkedIn is filled with all my friends who lost their jobs from there. It's like, bro, you can't talk like that about this, because it's a problem. It shows that you're being reactionary to shit that it's not about anything other than your emotional response to your friends getting fired.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. We know logically that none of this makes any sense to go and attack Xbox because they had to let people go. I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, at that point, again, like, if you're not going to do it for everyone, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like keep it equal.
You can't be selective, because it's not, an honest reaction.
It's not legit. It's
Yeah.
not legit. Let me get the homie Space Shot in the building. Thank you, my brother, for
Yeah,
being here, man.
Space
Thank you for that
Shot.
$5 super chat. Says the Ascent just came back to Game Pass. It's also 75% off on Steam. Can you believe they put it on sale? think of all the lost revenue, the agony.
Hey,
I mean,
this guy's game is 85% off on Steam. You can get it for $5.
oh shit.
Oh,
Who? This guy, Rafa Laba Laba?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Weird West is not the
that
Weird
was
West is like
mad.
that isometric view game, right?
I
It's
can't
like,
remember. I think it was third person. I think
Yeah,
there's
third
one that
Yeah,
was
but I
third
don't think
person, and
that's
there was
him.
one that's isometric. But I think it's
I
the
think
third person.
he made the isometric one.
Okay.
Whatever that one is, I'm pretty sure he made the isometric one. He didn't make the third person one,
Okay.
from what I remember. But yeah, that's pretty wild. We have the homie Razor Ultron in the building. Thank you,
Yo.
my brother, for being here. Thank you for that $2 super chat. Says with the dope ass profile picture of fucking Phil Spencer doing the snap, getting rid of all of the bullshit.
Oh, the media.
All the media one stop. One
This is
swoop.
freaking-
Yeah, Evil West was third person. G maybe with the fucking.
okay.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
So Weird West was that whack one that nobody cared about.
Yeah.
So Game Pass can't save a bad or unpopular game. Exactly, Razor. The thing about Game Pass is that it could be a gift and a curse, right? Or a curse, a gift or a curse. Because if you have a fire game and people are playing it like, oh my god, this is amazing! Like, yo, this is so dope. Let's go! Like Claire Expedition 30, Claire Obscura Expedition 33, right? Fire, banger. Oh shit, so amazing. But if you have a game it could be good, right? Because I don't think Game Pass necessarily puts bad games in there. I think they're all good, but do they have the it thing, right, to make people go crazy and play it? I mean, nobody can tell what game is going to go wild, right? Nobody can tell you what game is going to be super successful, but I think it does expose that for you, right? Like in a world where anybody can play your game, right? If you have 30 million subscribers or whatever it is, 30, 40 million subscribers to Game Pass, and they all looked at your game, and the vast majority of them just like were like,
Next.
nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
It shows that there's only a certain reach you're gonna have. I mean, just not every game could be Call of Duty, right? Not every game's gonna be Fortnite.
And it's not like the game is not available for purchase. So more people are actually paying attention to it than if you didn't have it in Game Pass, right? And they're still passing on it. So maybe you thought you made something special, but the world has spoken. I'm just saying, if you get it in there and no one cares, I mean, that's as good of a situation as you can have, right?
Fact.
Eyes available.
I agree, because it's a gamble, right? Xbox is taking a gamble every time they put a game in Game Pass, especially a day and date. Maybe not like when they're getting catalog games, but when they're doing a day and date drop, like they're taking a gamble. They're saying, we believe your game is going to be intriguing enough that people are going to want to stay subscribed. I don't think Xbox looks at many of those games, unless they're the bigger day and date games, as like big like growth leaders. I think they're more of like, hey, I'm not canceling my Game Pass subscription this month or next month, because next month this game's coming out from this company and it's gonna be a $40 game. I want to play it. I only got to pay $20 for my Game Pass, right? So as long as every month they can make you look at one game that's coming out that you can look at and say, man, I would buy that game for $40, but I'd rather just keep my subscription and pay 20 and play the game, right? As long as that's something that they can constantly do, that's all it is. Like, they're throwing so much shit at you, but they're literally only caring about, for the most part, obviously they want games that are going to create growth, right? For sure. But at the very minimum, they want to make sure they have something coming out into Game Pass that's worth more than $20 to you to keep you subscribed.
Yeah.
And if your game is a gamble game where they're like, oh, we don't know, but fuck it, let's try it because crazier things have happened, and then it doesn't do anything, well, that's not their fucking problem. They gave you more than you deserved. They believed in you.
Exactly.
They believed in you when no one else clearly is believing in you because they didn't buy your game, right? So like, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
It's Game Pass is like getting naked and running outside, right?
Oh shit.
If no one turns to look, I mean, you've done all you can, right?
Wow. That's real wild.
I
Especially,
mean, think about it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people in this room that are like, I'd rather not. I'd rather not. But if you want to, right? That's the way that people would be thinking about this, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like
I get what
that's-
you're saying though.
Like everyone's watching in Game Pass. You have
They
a lot
are.
of people.
The eyes are on you.
Yeah,
So that's the best case scenario,
exactly.
right? That's literally the best case scenario for you.
If nobody turns, that's on you.
Dude, seeing so many people who are so like desperate to like, hey, wish list my game, please. Like we really want to be seen, right? Like that's the hardest part, right? Is being seen. Game Pass is your best opportunity to be seen.
Exactly.
It's the best opportunity. So just kind of is what it is.
Space Shot said, "You do you."
To you. Dark Angelic, click Dark Angelic. Click him. If I ran around naked, I'll be sued for emotional damage, yo. That's real wild.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. We do have the motherfucking homie Mash in the
Yo.
building, making his return. Haven't seen him in a minute. My dude,
Mash,
thank you for being here,
thank you
brother.
for working
Appreciate
out,
you, my
bro.
man. He went ahead and gifted 10 on point for
Let's
gamer
go.
memberships, man. Thank you so
Mash.
much, man. That's very, very kind of you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Y'all know what to do.
Tell him, baby.
Oh, motherfucker. Welcome to the family emoji in the chat. Welcome our newest members, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking out with us. I do see we have the homie Byron Morse. We got Brian Buccelli.
Let's
We
go.
got NC Ghost of Low. We have 5 Kali Socks 26. We have UX Darkseed. We have Talking with Bob. We got Blue Moon FC. You got Michael Mooney, and you got the homie Crispy Bomb and Drake Williams.
Let's go. Welcome, you guys.
Welcome
And Mash,
to you all, y'all.
thank you so much, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you,
Appreciate
man.
you.
He does follow up with a member chat member
Let's
for
go.
15 months. My
Thank
brother,
you.
thank you so much for the support, man. Remember to hit the like
Yes.
button. Yes,
Share the link.
please
if you can.
do. It does mean a lot to us. Again, Mash, thank you for the support. And if you guys are looking to say, man, member for 15 months, that's pretty dope. You start now, 15 months from now, you'll be here being praised for being there for 15 months. So appreciate it, Shot.
Thank you, love.
Thank you so much, man.
Kasaya, what's up, love?
Kasey in the building. Was good, homie. All right. Anything else before we move on to our last topic real quick? The last one would be a quick one. Anything else about this? No?
I mean,
Good.
Raphael's it's a little upset.
He
He's
is.
a little upset.
He is.
Things didn't go his way. And it seems like everybody gets to throw a tantrum when
By the way, when you look at we didn't read this one, we just left it there. But if you looked at Baldur's Gate, dude, regarding cannibalization of sales, we aren't seeing that. The economics never made sense. But at the same time, I do recognize that for smaller teams with new or riskier IP, it's helped de-risk. Much prefer Sony's life cycle management strategy.
Oh my gosh.
Come on. Bro.
Oh my, it's someone out here with an agenda.
Oh my.
I'm just saying, didn't they take the bag from freaking PlayStation? Right? According to them, it was the Series S's fault, right?
Until
For
they were
being
shown how to
free.
use it.
No shit, you're gonna say that.
Exactly. Now look at this one here. This one I thought was funny considering what we just learned. Danger asks, if Game Pass was unsustainable, why would Microsoft continue to support it, especially for a decade? They pulled the plug on other projects and services much quicker in the past. Why would Game Pass be the exception? Listen to this dude who clearly just exposed himself with his lack of knowledge. They are still not profitable after 8 years. Fam, question. Didn't Christopher Dring just do his research project, find out that after a phone call, they are in fact profitable?
You need to link, put his link in there.
Raphael needs to get that phone call. So somebody needs to call Raphael. Yeah. Let's see his math. You ready? He says they are still in customer acquisition phase, hoping one day the subscription revenue will be greater to the investments, greater to the investments, 100 billion in acquisitions plus licensing plus dev costs. Do the math. They have 35 million subscribers, including the $1. First of all, that $1 hasn't been around for like 45 years now. Second, who the fuck said they're spending $100 billion? When are they spending $100 billion in acquisitions, licensing, and dev costs? What fuck? Where did he come up with $100 billion?
Pony math.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Is he talking about acquisition? I thought he was talking about customer acquisition phase. See, he said they're still in customer acquisition phase. Okay, maybe he's talking about the $100 billion in actual companies that they bought.
Yeah,
he's got to, but even then, some of that's already accounted for in the sales from some of the software already. Like, even though Call of Duty's in Game Pass, it still sells enough to keep them in the black. Like,
yeah, and let me
look
tell
at
them
some of the top games out there.
Well, think about the secret. What these people don't fucking realize when they buy a company. When you buy your house, did you lose $300,000 that you have to go ahead and recoup, or did you buy an asset?
You bought an asset.
You bought an asset, and that $300,000 house hopefully will be $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they bought $100 billion in acquisitions, number one, that's because they believed it was worth more than $100 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right from the rip. So they're already in a net positive because it's worth that much more. And it's only going to be worth more over time.
Yeah.
So they didn't lose shit that these 35 million subscribers have to account for. And this motherfucker really thinks, including the $1, like there's 35 million $1 subscribers. Like, hey guys, we got them all. And it was only for the first month, but every month they do the $1 because it was a 1 month deal. But sure, it's good times.